How you doing today? My name is Jamie DiStefano. I am the Vice President here at the Newington Leonard's. Prior to becoming Vice President, I was actually the meat manager for 25 years. So I have a lot of experience dealing with all of our cuts of meat, especially our filet mignon. And I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about the difference between the two fillets that we carry. We do get all of our meat direct from the ranchers from the Midwest, mostly Kansas, Montana, those areas. Part of my knowledge with the cutting of the meat and all of the meat products downstairs comes from, multiple trips out to Kansas and Montana, visiting our ranchers out there and really starting to develop relationships with our ranchers and understanding from beginning to end, how our cattle is raised and processed and the feed and everything that it's given before it actually ends up in our store ready to serve to our customers. As you can see over here, we have our traditional fat-on filet, and right next to it, we have our already trimmed filet. Believe it or not, both of these items, the retail price, are virtually the same. One is $108, one is $115. But the difference is as you'll see, the fat that I remove from the fat-on filet. There's this heavy cap of fat that I'm gonna take off this peeled filet. And in the end, when I'm done with this, you'll be able to see that it's very, very similar to the peeled filet that we carry that has this heavy cap of fat already taken off. Again, the butchers will do it free of charge. A lot of our butchers within the company, no matter what store you go to, they've all been cutting meat for quite a while. So you bring it up to them, they'll trim it for you. They know exactly what they're doing. The only thing that you would need to do as a customer is really to communicate to the butchers how you would like it done. And when I say that, a lot of people, the most traditional way to have a filet mignon is cut up into steaks. Generally, if you're gonna grill it, about 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches is pretty standard. Otherwise, if you're looking for sandwich steaks, you could have them cut about 1/2 inch or so. Either way, it's still gonna be delicious and tender. The biggest, the difference that you'll see with these already trimmed fillets is it has a little bit of fat on it. It's got this little membrane right here that really you'll see as the butchers trim it off. It's just a very, very thin membrane of fat that is removed. And again, like I stated before, on the fat-on fillets, you lose roughly 25 to 30% of waste. I mean, if I had to give you a guess on these peeled fillets, you're lucky if it's 10%. That would be very high, in my opinion. So in the end, as you can see, they're both pretty fully trimmed, and that is kind of what you end up with. You can have it done cut into steaks, which again, I recommend about 1.5 inches if you're gonna grill them. Lay this out here. Very nice cut of meat. And then towards the end, some customers, what they like to do, if they like to keep it as a roast, you tuck the tail under when you're cooking it, because you do want it to cook evenly. As you can see, there's a thick end and a very thin end. We call that the tail. So if you were gonna cook that as a roast in the oven, you wanna tuck the tail under and just kind of put it in the oven just like that. Generally on the roast, you wanna preheat the oven at 450 degrees and then cook the filet at that temperature for about 1/2 hour to 40 minutes. And for me, I personally prefer to take them home as steaks and put them on the grill. And generally anywhere from 5 to 7 minutes a pound for medium rare. And honestly, for both of these, you don't need a ton of seasoning or marinade. I just recommend a little salt and pepper, some olive oil, and maybe some fresh garlic, and that's really all you need.